Hello, everybody. Rob here with FanShare Sports. Just going to go over how I use FanShare Pro. We have some exciting new tools that I am, just really excited about to show you and kind of believe it could be a game changer for your handicapping and your DFS game. So I have FanShare Pro pulled up right here, just the dashboard. And if this is your first time, I'll just kind of go over a few things. Obviously, you have the name, university. One of the most important aspects of DFS is ownership and projected ownership right here. For example, we see John Rahm at 18%. Looks like this was just updated. Course form, course history. Obviously, green is good. The fire is excellent. A unique and very great tool is a course suitability ranking that we have. And so that says, like, John Rahm 3 or 13. We have Rory here at 6. We go down, unfortunately, can't let at 63. That's very helpful. But we have so many other useful tools that exist within FanShare Pro. One of the new ones, and one I'm really excited about, is the strokes gained trend. And so we look at this is strokes gained total that pops up first. I might want to look at, okay, strokes gained approach. I want to know the golfers that are best hitting, the ball into the green, who's trending in the right direction. So we've applied that filter, and kind of here we go. And so it looks like we have Will Zalatoris last 4 rounds, a little cold. Let's do the eight. See who's hitting the ball the best over the last 8 rounds. And Scotty Scheffler, which makes sense. Won last week at the API, trending up. Him and John Rahm both trending very nicely. And Tony Finau, surprisingly, trending very nice last 4 rounds on approach. And then if you think, gosh, okay, 8 rounds just is not enough. I want more. The last 20 rounds is usually a great number. Who's hitting the best on approach the last 20 rounds? And of course, you get the names we likely see: John Rahm, Zalatoris, Russell Knox, very interesting. But then Scotty Scheffler, Daniel Berger, Luke List with his win at the Farmers. Uh, so this is just really, really helpful. And so then what I like to do, if I identify patterns, and so I see, gosh, okay, someone over the last 8 rounds may be flying underneath the radar that some people don't see. I'm like, gosh, okay, Alex Noren is a great example. I'm looking at salary right there, 7K. And so I may come back to the dashboard and say, Alex Noren might want to be in my player pool. Obviously, I might want to do more research. We can use further strokes gained data. We can use some form. We could just look at course history. We can pull him up, but I'm just going to go to Norm because what I like to do, and my internet's being slow as I record this, I like to then see, okay, I'm going to select Norman to then be in my player pool. And I'll look at his ownership. So right now, 8% at a 7K guy. Really, really like that. Maybe does not have the best course history, but what we know in this event is that a guy like Matsuyama, who can have great course history, miscut last year. It's a hard course to predict. So I am personally not holding too much stock into course history, but that's what I kind of do. I'm like, okay, I like Noren. Now then I might go back, look at kind of some further strokes gained trend as this kind of loads. And I may say that, you know what, with all the rain, being in the fairway this week is going to be incredibly important because you do not want to hit a golf ball out of wet rough. So I'm going to say, gosh, okay, off the tee is just going to be incredibly important. Who's hitting the ball the best off the tee? Let's start and look at last 20 rounds. Of course, John Rahm, Cameron Young, not surprising how well he's played. Keith Mitchell, an excellent driver of the golf ball. Then you have Sergio, and so Sergio is interesting. Play has played well here, and so I might think, you know what, Sergio at 7,400, and this is going to be delayed, but let me just come back and kind of see if I want to put him on in my player pool. And this is just so great about FanShare, to the ability to look at, okay, the trends to combination to find value, whether it's with salary or ownership. And so I'm going to go back in here. I know this will take a while, but because of the internet's being slow, but just an example of what I do. And I could pull up multiple tabs of FanShare to kind of help go back and forth. And so, yeah, so 74%. And now I'm thinking only 8%. And he is one of the best off the tee and within the last 20 rounds. And I'm like, gosh, 8%, great course form, great course history. That's the green there. I'm going to include Sergio then in my player pool. I really like him. And just to maybe kind of speed this up a little bit, I'm going to show is once we have, I might just pick a few other golfers, then we can go to lineup generator, which is one of the best out there. And we can show maybe one of the best benefits of FanShare Pro. So I love Brooks. I know this is subjective. He's one of my picks. We'll throw in Hideki as well. Colin might have to include a few sleepers. Chris Kirk, let's say 12%. Yeah, he is going to be popular. That's okay. I think Billy at 14%. We see that current form, excuse me. I'm like, gosh, that could carry over maybe average course history, but 37th in course suitability ranking, 8K is not terrible. So let me just come in and put a few others. Siwoo Kim, past winner here, we might throw him within that. Maybe one more. I wrote Sam Burns up in the game theory article, so let's put another sleeper if we can put CT Pan if we can find him. If not, that's okay. Well, yeah, we'll just use that and we're going to use an example. So now I have my player pool. I've started these golfers. I'm ready to build and construct lineups. So I'm at the lineup generator here. And this is what I think is going to be so helpful for this week is it identifies where the tee times that a player is going to begin on Thursday. And so I only have 9 players in my pool right now. If I'm making 20 lineups, I may initially star 20 to 40 golfers. And then I may kind of weed them down in the sense of, gosh, okay, if I don't like the AM PM wave, then I might kind of close out then like Hideki. I don't like that. I need to get my player pool down. I need to do that. And so what can confuse people is the total exposure all must be 600. This is so helpful because it makes the generated lineups that you receive as accurate as possible. And so what we'll do, what that means is I have to figure out and construct a player pool on what I want my target exposure to be to each golfer. So I could say 20% to Colin. Again, I love Brooks. Maybe I want 50% of my lineups to go to him. Also like Billy in his current form, I think Sam Burns is a good sleeper. So 30, and then I might shrink as we get toward the bottom. Yeah, Noren, he was great on approach, but maybe flying, I'm kind of unsure about him. I only want him in 10% of my lineups and so forth. And so you see how, now this number is at 130. So I'll really have to shoot these numbers up to get the 600, but that'll change with the more golfers I put into my player pool. The other thing we want to decide is how many of lineups do I want to produce? Some people, if they're making 20 lineups, they might produce 30. And so then they can kind of delete 10 lineups that they don't want and they can kind of pick and choose. That's a helpful way to do it. This is also really helpful. The min and max salary in weeks like this, where there's a lot of unknowns. Again, we're at the Players Championship. There's weather. I might kind of say, leaving some salary on the table might be more beneficial because of all these variables. So I might do kind of 48,700, and obviously max is 5K. And then FanShare, we're auto it can set up exposures, and then you can generate your lineups right there. I like to create mine and not do auto exposures because this is where the handicap comes in play. But I generate lineups, and I don't have enough players and golfers right here. But after you generate the lineups, what will then happens is your lineups will be generated, and you can edit and see them all. And the really helpful part is that then it gives you a file that you can upload to DraftKings and go to lineups and upload, and then all your lineups are there from FanShare. So that's just really helpful. The new tools again are so helpful. The trends is just great. Again, the strokes gain data is so helpful where we can pick a particular number of events. So I'm going to go last 8, and this is a tough field. So let's just look over who performs best over the strongest fields and apply that filter. And strokes gained tee to green, who plays best tee to green. And this is, the whole, not just people in the field, this is all the golfers in the world. And we got Chris Kirk, we got Guido, Neiman, no wonder Rahm's always going to be up there. So just so many great tools on top of Showdown when the tournament kind of gets going. That is so helpful to look at what are the in-tournament stats, some form guide. I will just show you this last piece for head-to-head because it's also really great. I haven't started that many players, but really great if you're shrinking your player pool, which we all need to do. I do it that if I'm down to maybe 2 golfers, or 3 or whatever, then I can identify, okay, how can I compare and which one maybe it needs to be deleted from my player pool. It's also a great, useful tool if you're doing head to heads in the betting market. So this is just a great quick video to share all the helpful tools that FanShare has. I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you, following through. Good luck this week, and thank you to FanShare. We'll see you later.